in the number 7 position, surprised everybody.
Andy McCoy right there, the chassis builder from St. Louis, his first ever NHRA AMS Pro Mod race, qualified with a career best. And Thomas Patterson, who was runner-up at this event back in 2003 to Mike Castellana. And here comes Patterson with a big charge. And right there you see Andy McCoy. He broke the first panel. He's still looking for his first NHRA Pro Mod win.
Welcome to another edition of Inside Drag Racing. Coming this week, the O'Reilly NHRA Midwest National, coming to you from Gateway International Raceway in Madison, Illinois. The shadow of the arch, a lot of Pro Mod action with the AMS staff leasing Pro Modified Series. So far this weekend, this place has magic built all over the place. From the 4,000 oversell tickets on Saturday night to the fastest qualified Pro Mod field and on down the list. This is a great drag race right here. Chassis builder Andy McCoy, whose machine, a 1957 Chevy Bel Air, has already been lauded as one of the most beautiful ever created for this category. On his first qualifying effort, he ended up doing this little dance in the last 5 feet of asphalt at the other end of the ORP asphalt. And indeed, he saved it. But it was his second qualifying session at the end of a 6:36.216 pass when the car erupted into a ball of fire that was reminiscent of the worst funny car fires ever. This thing lit up and stayed lit. Unfortunately, Andy inside the cockpit inhaled an awful lot of carbon fiber smoke and was barely conscious when the machine finally came to a halt. He was indeed transported to Methodist Hospital here in Indianapolis for observation, but is expected to recover fully. Looking at the slow motion replay.
Ray Anthony Williams is suing Universal because he claims the studio ripped off his script called Bet, based on his real-life experiences as an outlaw street racer, and turned it into The Fast and the Furious.
Went to the movie. I began to try and take notes, but it was so overwhelming, I just threw my pen and legal pad, just threw everything to the floor. It hurts, man.
Williams claims he was working as a messenger for a courier service when he met a Universal Studios employee who agreed to try to get a green light from the studio. Williams believes producers read his script and liked it enough to steal it. About a year later, the movie came out.
I was in my car and I turned the radio on. I hear Vin Diesel reciting some of my dialogue. We're speaking verbatim, word for word. There was the infamous line, the catchphrase, 10 seconds or less. I looked on page 6, line 16, 17, there it was right there. I need 10 seconds or less.
So at the suggestion of his producing partner, Andre Alexin, Williams contacted the studio. Incredibly, they say the studio ignored them and raced ahead with a sequel, Too Fast, Too Furious. So Williams sued over both films.
They said, well, it's somewhat different. And I said to them, well, you know what? You can steal a man's car, you can paint it another color, you can put different rims on it, it still belongs to the man who has the pink, and he's got the pink in the title.
Now, Williams and Alexin, who race classic cars, are planning to make Bet on their own. They'll star in it themselves, and they say they'll do it the right way. Not with the Japanese vehicles Universal used, but with good old American muscle.
They could put any of those guys in any of the cars that was in that film. I'll pick out one of my little puppies right here. We can get the president, see if we can get us a permit, we can set up a quarter mile, and we can do the thing. They show me what's fast and what they think is furious. I'm gonna show you what to bet on. This the way we ride right here, man.
All right, let's get to work.
Hey, Roman, you freaking out?
No.
Yes, you are.
Can somebody just walk me through what we're supposed to be doing?
Anthony Williams. I'm the original writer-creator of the multi-billion-dollar film franchise, The Fast and the Furious. I just want to say hello to Ryan Walker. Ryan, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I humble myself wholeheartedly. Thank you for doing that. From my family to yours. Again, my condolences regarding Paul. And, you know, we just wish the family the best. And, you know, may I also say that, hey, a job well done with you and Caleb in regards to Fast 7. I mean, you guys, hey, you did your thing. Ryan, I ask of you all to go back and go through my YouTube channel, you know, view my videos and view my comparisons, because this is no plaything. I have every intentions on moving forward and getting back which was wrongfully taken from me. My work was stolen. Gary Scott Thompson, Chris Morgan, Carrillo Salem, David Ayers, they are not the writers and creators of this work. I am. And if you notice, if you think about it, not once have any of the writers ever come forward and stated that they are the original writer and creator. So if you could do that, I really appreciate it. Again, I feel that you all can go to Universal. You're in a position where you can go to Universal and you can demand that they show you, you know, the proof and documentation, just as I'm willing to show you, and we can sit down, because it's only right. Hey, your name is out there. The Walker family name is out there. Paul is a big part of that franchise, but Paul also did a major role of my dialogue in a lot of scenes which were verbatim from my bet script. Bet as in B-E-T, as in bet money. I am the original writer creator, and I really want to get this matter resolved. And again, Ryan, thanks for reaching out. So like I stated, you can go back, view the YouTube videos, and so you can see for yourself, but keep in mind, I'm coming forward. I'm not holding back. I'm not backing out. I can't be sold. I can't be bought, nor am I selling out. I want my just dues. And for future writers, those of you, if you're ever in a similar situation, I'd be more than happy to talk to you, to speak with you. But mind you, this is no plaything. Only if your documentation is in order. If you've been wrongfully robbed and someone is taking your material or whatnot, then I will show you the process I went through. I mean, we're speaking verbatim from the beginning of the film to the end of the film, where I listened word for word, sentence by sentence, you know, statements, phrases. I listened to it all, and I have a comparison list where I compared my film to their film, you know, my script to their film, and there's no dispute. They cannot dispute this. So again, speaking of comparisons, let's go right to my comparison so you can see for yourself. Okay, in my script, page 20, line 20 and 21, it says, a train is coming, but they make it across the tracks just in time. Okay, in this scene, you're gonna have Vin Diesel, the Dominic Toretto character. He's gonna walk out with a shotgun, and then I'm gonna pause, and then I'm gonna show you in my script where they got that from. Okay, in page 108, line 2 and 3, it says Raw, line 2, Raw, as he walks to the front of his car, opening the trunk, in highlight, it says, pulls out a chrome sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun. Okay.
Oh, shit. Hook him up.
Okay, so you all have just now seen my comparisons. Again, I'm telling you, I am the original writer-creator of this multi-billion-dollar film franchise. The way it all got started, you know, I took various jobs. In fact, I took a job as a messenger courier because I knew it would give me the access with the major studios. And sure enough, I happened to get a call at Universal, And I dropped my script off over at Universal, and you're talking about planting a seed, just like my father planted a seed in my brothers and I, as in the auto mechanics trade. A seed was also planted with Universal Pictures, and my. Look how much that seed has grown into a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Again, Universal cannot dispute this. Not once have you heard them say anything about the fact that they are the original writer of that work, the original writer or creator of that work, because I am. And that's why it's so important, that the Walker family, those, and even Vin Diesel, all those of you who's a part of that franchise, it's very important that, you got to get things right, because your careers are out there. And if it get to a point where everyone down the line is getting sued, or you're a part of this, at some point, when will Universal finally step up and say, okay, let's get this matter resolved. We got to get it right with this man. I'm going to continue to move forward. Now, they were talking about the box office success with Fast 7, speaking of the Fast 7 mojo. Well, it's more like the Fast and the Fraudulent 7 mojo, or shall I say more like the Fast and 7 Fraudulent Stolo, because my work was stolen. And Universal cannot dispute that. And it's just a matter of time, but like the scripture says, the wealth of the wicked is stored away for the righteous. So you just do what you're doing, but it's going to come a time where you're going to run out of time, you're going to run out of places to hide, and guess what? You're going to have to step up and pay the piper, period. So again, let's get this thing together. Let's come together, let's get this thing right, and we really do need to move on this and make this thing happen. Again, to the Walker family, I respect your family, I honor your family. However, my dad's turning over in his grave right now, because this is something he passed on to his family. And Universal just took it and ran. Run, Forrest, run. That's exactly what they did with this thing. Give me my money, cut me a multi-billion-dollar check, and that's it. We got to get it right. I'm not for sale, I'm not selling out, and I can't be bought. Give me my money. Give me my dues. There's a lot of actors out there, the accolades. Vin Diesel got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Man, he got that from working in stolen work. As a result of my work being stolen, Vin is now in possession of a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That star got to come up. I'm not going to get into other details, but the writers, they're not credible. Gary Scott Thompson, Chris Morgan, Kirill Salin, David Ayers, Kevin Pogue, they are not credible writers. Which one of them is the original writer? Ask them. Which one of you guys are the original writer creator of this billion-dollar franchise? They will not tell you that. And on the copyright, I may as well show you a comparison with the copyright. On the copyright, Universal saying that they're the owner, saying that they're the owner of that work, and that Gary Scott Thompson, he was just hired to do the writing. None of them are credible. Universal is not credible, and the writers are not credible. I am the original writer-creator, Ray Anthony Williams. Walker family, I'd love to set up a meeting and meet up with you and show you so you can see for yourselves all my proof and documentation. This ain't no plaything. This is the real deal. I have every intention of continuing to move forward. January 1996. This document was my original synopsis. Before I was going to entitle my film Bet, I was going to call it Break 'em Off Something Proper. So of course you can see the title right here. But again, that date right there, very important you see that, because again, this date comes well before Universal's copyright date. Check it. Okay, here's another document, my Writers Guild of America document. Notice here, we have WGA, that's who I'm registered, that's who I registered my script with. Here, the title of my script, Bet. Then we go a little over to the right, there's the date, which is September 1996. Again, I'm proving to you that my document is well established before Universal's date. Check it. Okay, here's another document I have here from the Writers Guild of America. We can zoom in, get that best you can. It's my registration certificate. Writers get after so many years, you have to start over again with your copyright. You know, you have to register again. And if you come on down a little further, again, there's my title script, Bet. Then to the right, lower right, there's a date, I believe it's June of 2000. And again, I'm proving to you that these dates are well before Universal's dates. I want you to see for yourself. Check it. Okay, now, this is where things are starting to get very interesting. Again, keep in mind, you remember the dates of my documents. I'm going to prove to you right now that my work was established well before their date. This is the registered works of Universal. The film was called Red Line, and as you can see here, the writers, you have Gary Scott Thompson, revisions by Eric Bergquist, John Pogue, David Ayer, Kirill Salim, or Solemn, whatever. The description, I believe the script is 115 pages, and the claimant, who's claiming ownership of this work, is Universal City Studios Incorporation, parentheses, employer for hire. Now let's come down to this next line, line 2. The title now is called The Fast and the Furious, also known as Red Line. You have Gary Scott Thompson as the writer, revisions, Eric Bergquist, John Pogue, David Ayer, Kirill Salim, again, whatever. And note the date here is November of 2000. Again, September 8th, 2000, and November 2000. I just showed you copyright documents that was established back in '96. I mean, just some dates. Actually, my work was created well before that. Again, I will tell you, I am the original writer-creator, Ray Anthony Williams, the original writer-creator of the multi-billion-dollar film, The Fast and the Furious, that whole franchise, that billion-dollar franchise. I'm really feeling in my heart and spirit to reach out to the Walker family. Ryan Walker, Caleb Walker, again, my family, from my heart to your heart, you know, to your families. We both lost a loved one. You know, my dad, he planted a seed and he passed it on to me. You know, Paul has passed on. But I gotta say though, I know that for a fact, I know with all my heart and soul, I know that when Paul entered the kingdom of heaven, I know that my dad was the first one there to introduce himself. And I know to this very moment right now, they're having a nice little chit chat about these cars and all the excitement, you know, that all that brings. Again, we're speaking of real folk now, folk that have a heart, folk that understand, and folk that have compassion. I'm not speaking of thieves, as in Gary Scott Thompson, David Ayers, Kirill Salim, Kevin Pogue, Chris Morgan. No, we're speaking of good folk. Again, I would say not the Hollywood devils, but people that meant wholeheartedly, you know, just want to get things right. These are the people I'm speaking of. These are the people that God has his hand on. And people like that, you need to be thrown into the lion's den. If you know your scripture, if you know anything about the Bible, there were those who conspired against Daniel, and they were placed in the lion's den. When the king ran down the first thing in the morning, and he saw that Daniel was still alive, all those who conspired against Daniel, they took their family members, kids, cousins, uncles, whoever it was, threw them all in the lion's den, and before they could get to the bottom of the den, the lions made mastery of them. That's what needs to happen to these people here, these Hollywood devils, these thieves, these liars. You make your living off of stealing from people. You know, what does the devil do? What does he do? He's out to seek, kill, steal, and destroy whomever he can to put himself up on top. That's not good business, man. If you want to do my film, if you want to do my work, all you had to do was ask, Ray, what can we do? And whatever happened to the good old-fashioned handshake? You have Tyrese, you know, the whole crew, everybody hooping and hollering about the success of the film. But mind you, it was stolen. What about the little man? What about the man who wrote a story about his life, you know, family history, his DNA? Well, that's my DNA. That's my birthright. My dad passed it on to me. You think maybe you're acting and all that. No, no, no. I'm also an actor. A very skillful actor. And my work was stolen. That's all my dad had was to give, you know, that's all he had to give was an auto mechanics trade and the knowledge that he instilled in my brothers and I regarding the auto mechanics trade. And then not only that, but I took our family history and wrote a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Mind you, this is my first time out. And it's not just the Fast and the Furious, but other works, many other works. And the writers, David Ayers, you know what time it is. I'm coming to see you, bro. It's a matter of time. But there will come a day where all will be settled and all will be taken care of. And all the embarrassment. I mean, just imagine the sheer embarrassment. If you have children, I'm reaching out to your kids. Your daddy, they didn't write that. They stole that from a man. And if that's what they're instilling in you, is you being their children, man, hey, woe unto your family. And the worst thing you could do is steal and take something from a child of the Most High God. I'm the king's kid. Imagine if someone took something from you, from your child. First thing you want to do is go and get that matter resolved. Well, guess what? How do you think God feels when you take something from his people? You need to be very careful, because my father is sitting high and he's looking low. And he sees it all. And I'll say again, the wealth of the wicked is stored away for the righteous. But other than that, God bless you. Much continued success. The Hollywood Devils, you need to go about your business. Stop stealing.
I don't have friends. I got
I am
family.
Ray Anthony Williams, the original writer creator of The Fast and the Furious. Bless you.